So if I want to understand, for example, what's happening on Slack, I can move to NetTracer and start looking at where hub.slack.com, for example, is easily accessible or not. And probably the first thing that strikes my mind is that some regions in the US do not get such a good connectivity. So basically, in this case, I mean, the blue is the short latency, the purple is on average a higher latency, and the red indicator, I mean, the larger, the more packet loss you see between vantage points and the platform. So I see some problem on the West Coast, for example, for Slack. So I'm going to filter on that and look at the stations that I've got on the West Coast, monitoring the Slack. And the part that I see, I mean, in the first place is that some places get relatively good connectivity. I mean, you've got two vantage points in AWS and GCP, so not the most interesting ones. But for example, from Los Angeles, you get 43 milliseconds, some packet loss. But from San Jose, say you get 143 milliseconds. As you see, it looks fairly stable when you look at the 7-day view. So we can look at that data and try to understand what is the difference in the way people access Slack from those different places. So what you are going to discover is that the SaaS network is complex. So what you see here is basically all the network paths that can be taken by a user to reach Slack from those places. So I'm just going to take a shorter time frame to simplify it. So you see small differences basically in latency, and you see a vast difference between the San Jose people and the Los Angeles. So basically in that diagram, what you see is Los Angeles vantage point, the San Jose vantage point. And what you see also is that they may be redirected to different places. So you've got Slack resolved into that IP address, which is 18 something, which is provided, probably hosted by Amazon UK, that IP address in 34, which is hosted by Amazon in the US, and that other one, which is in 54, but which is also hosted by Amazon in the US. So you see where I'm coming already.
You just said that the person in San Jose where they invented Slack is being redirected to some sort of hosting location in the UK?
We are going to get the answer right away. So if I just pick San Jose, in that case, they have been redirected to the UK at some point. At this point, they were redirected somewhere else to Highland, but they are never redirected to the US. Yes, that's correct.
Wow, I guess there must be busy servers there in the US that they're sending people overseas to access their messages. It might explain why I'm having a hard time reaching you.
Yeah, that could absolutely be it.